Arthas Menethil is called one of the greatest villains in video game history. But what if I told you that Arthas was never a villain? What if everything you thought you knew about his fall was wrong? In the next minutes, I'm going to prove to you why Arthas was the victim of a corrupt system, cowardly mentors, and a prophecy that condemned him before he could choose. And by the end, you'll understand why his story is actually a Greek tragedy disguised as epic fantasy. Let's start by destroying the first myth. Arthas wasn't a spoiled or arrogant prince. He was literally Lordaeron's star pupil, trained by Uther the Lightbringer, the most legendary paladin member of the Order of the Silver Hand romance with Jaina Proudmoore, the most brilliant mage of her generation, heir to one of the most powerful kingdoms in Azeroth. But here's the detail that changes everything. Arthas wasn't just good in combat, he was compassionate. In the Warcraft 3 campaign, his first missions show him saving villagers, protecting farms, risking his life for his people. This isn't a guy hungry for power. This is someone who genuinely wants to protect his kingdom, and that's precisely the problem. Because the Warcraft universe was about to put him in a situation where being a good leader would mean becoming a monster. When the Plague of Undeath arrives in Lordaeron, Arthas does exactly what he's supposed to do. He asks his mentors for help. First, he goes to Uther, his master, the person who trained him since childhood. And Uther basically tells him, "Yeah, there's a plague, but I'm not going to dirty my hands. You figure it out." Then there's Jaina, his supposed love, who in theory should support him. But when things get ugly, she also disappears. And here comes the part that nobody talks about. Where was King Tyrrhenus during all this? His father, the king, sent him to deal with an apocalyptic crisis, and then stayed in his comfortable castle while his son tried to stop the end of the world alone. Think about it. Arthas wasn't king yet. He was a prince, technically still under his father's orders. But Tyrrhenus basically told him, "Hey son, there's a plague turning thousands into undead. Go solve it. Good luck." This is like giving an intern the CEO's responsibility and then blaming him when things go wrong. And we arrive at the moment that defines everything. Stratholme. Let me paint you the exact scenario Arthas faced. 10,000 civilians in the city. All have consumed infected grain. Conversion time. Hours, not days. No known cure. No reinforcements available. Mal'Ganis is inside actively converting people. Arthas has three options. Option 1, do nothing. 10,000 zombies join the Scourge. Go back home, tell Dad I tried, and watch the kingdom fall. Option 2, try to evacuate. But where to? Neighboring cities don't want infected refugees. And while you evacuate, half turn into zombies and massacre the other half. Option 3, the Purge. Kill 10,000 people before they turn. Potentially save millions. And when Arthas chooses the only option that mathematically makes sense, what does Uther do? He abandons him. His mentor, the most legendary paladin of all time, abandons his student in the darkest moment of his life. And Jaina leaves too. Let me be absolutely clear. Arthas made the right decision at Stratholme. It was a horrible decision. It was a traumatic decision. But it was the right decision. And you know what's worst? Uther and Jaina didn't leave because they thought Arthas was wrong. They left because they were cowards. They didn't want that decision on their consciences. They preferred to abandon Arthas and let him carry the moral weight of saving the kingdom. Arthas became the monster so they could keep being the heroes. After Stratholme, Arthas is broken. He's killed 10,000 of his own people. He's alone. And Mal'Ganis, the demon responsible for all this, escapes to Northrend. This is where people say Arthas went mad with revenge. But wait a second. Mal'Ganis isn't just the guy who made him angry. Arthas believed Mal'Ganis was the architect of the plague. If Arthas let him escape, the entire purge of Stratholme was pointless. The plague would continue. The sacrifice meant nothing. So Arthas pursues Mal'Ganis to Northrend. And here's the moment everyone misunderstands. Burning the ships. Everyone says, that's where he became a villain. That's where he lost his mind. False. Burning the ships was the decision of a desperate leader who knew his troops wanted to desert. Was it extreme? Yes. Was it immoral? Questionable. But was it the decision of a madman? No. It was the decision of someone who knew that if he didn't stop Mal'Ganis there, millions would die. And then he finds Frostmourne, the cursed sword that supposedly corrupted the noble prince. But look at the complete scene. Arthas knows the sword is cursed. Muradin tells him it's cursed, and Arthas takes it anyway. Why? Because at that moment, Arthas had already sacrificed his humanity at Stratholme. He'd already burned his reputation. He'd already lost everyone he loved. Taking Frostmourne wasn't corruption. It was the logical conclusion of a man who had already decided, I'm going to save my kingdom no matter the personal cost. Frostmourne didn't corrupt an innocent prince. It corrupted a man who was already broken by a system that abandoned him when he needed it most. Arthas returns home. He's killed Mal'Ganis. He's saved the kingdom. And the first thing he does is enter the throne room and murder his father. But here's the truth that hurts. Terenas deserves part of the blame. He sent his son to deal with an apocalyptic crisis without much support. He didn't prepare him for impossible decisions. He wasn't there when Arthas had to purge Stratholme. He didn't send reinforcements. He didn't go look for him in Northrend. Terenas was a cowardly king who sacrificed his son to avoid making difficult decisions. And yes, Arthas as the Lich King does terrible things. He massacres entire cities. He raises his victims as undead. He destroys Quel'Thalas. He kills Sylvanas. But at this point, is it really Arthas? Or is it the empty shell of a man that the world broke first? So, was Arthas a villain? I believe he was a victim. A victim of mentors who abandoned him when he needed them most. A victim of a father who gave him responsibilities without giving him the tools. A victim of a world that demanded someone get their hands dirty but then condemned whoever did it. Arthas wasn't corrupted by power. He was destroyed by sacrifice. He did what no one else was willing to do. He paid the price no one else wanted to pay. And the world called him a monster for it. When he finally dies in wrath of the Lich King, his last words are, "Father, is it over?" He doesn't ask for forgiveness. He doesn't ask for redemption. He only asks if he can finally rest. Arthas Menethil was Warcraft's most misunderstood hero. And his story is a reminder that sometimes the road to hell is paved with the best intentions and the worst loneliness. If you made it this far, let me know in the comments. Misunderstood hero or inevitable villain? And if you know someone who loves Warcraft, share this video. See you in the next one.